All right, we had a bit of a hiccup getting going, but we're finally ready to rock and roll. It's a brand new best of 3, game number 1 for the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship Global Qualifiers, spawning here in the southernmost location of the map. He's definitely one of our favorite foreigners. We'll see how he does here today. It's going to be Team Liquid's red Zerg player Snute.
The top side as the blue Terran. It's MVP's MarineKing.
Oh, it's still so weird. We've cast him so many times in the IEM League. It's been a long time since he's actually been on Prime, but I still can't get over the MVP MarineKing.
Yeah, it's just awkward to say.
It doesn't roll off the tongue to say, like, MarineKing Prime was just perfect.
Yeah. I think just starting with it sounds weird. MarineKing MVP isn't so bad. Yes. You know, Liquid never really has an awkward person.
How do you mean?
Like there's no awkward name for Liquid. Liquid's just a cool name. Liquid Snute.
Yeah.
Liquid Huck even was cool.
That's
a long time ago.
Well, there's a lot of things to talk about the matchup, and we will certainly get into this in a moment, guys. But to remind you all 2 big things about today. First off, all these best of 3s lead to what is 2 final best of 5s. Only 2 players from today's tournament will get through. But don't worry, because anyone who falls here and now can still compete in the Korean qualifier, can still compete in the European qualifier. There's many other chances to get through and actually make it to the IEM Grand Finals. That being said, though, we do have several foreigners left at this point. Major playing against MMA, Mana currently playing against Trap, and Snute here versus MarineKing. I think it would be a complete upset to have so many Koreans, so many stacked Korean high-level Kespa players play and have any of the foreigners get through. But honest to goodness, the 3 that are left are the 3 I would put my money on. Okay.
So you have big faith in Mana's PvP. Do you think he can get to the finals? It could be him versus Trap, then him versus Stats.
Man, if he can beat Parting, seriously. I mean, honest to God, maybe.
Well, we are now getting this game going, kind of. I mean, they both chosen their openers, right? MarineKing did go for a 14cc, big surprise. But hey, it's Van Eye, so that's okay.
Right, actually, there's a couple big things to talk about for this. One of the ones I want to get into is the way that Snute plays. Now, a lot of people expect Snute to go Swarmhouse just because that became his style. In fact, we actually don't see Snute pull out Swarmhouse that often. And MarineKing in the past has proven not to be too heavy of a Widowmine player. Again, we're taking the reference here from many matches cast in the IEM League. So there's a chance that this actually ends up just looking like a normal TVZ. And if that's the case, MarineKing does tend to play risky. He does tend to play greedy. While Van Eye Research Station certainly complements his playstyle of earlier and faster CCs, other maps won't. But at the same time, you joked earlier. You said maybe Snute should ask Impact for advice. Impact is a Zerg player who just has MarineKing's number at every turn. He knows what MarineKing's going to do before MarineKing does it, and he beats him relentlessly with his own arms, it feels like sometimes. You know, just rip him off and knock him senseless. So if Snute knew that MarineKing was going for a fast 3cc, maybe Snute goes for the all-in. Maybe he just blindly does it. But the nice thing about this map, before I shut up and let Zombie will finally talk, Van Eye Research Station is so good for Zerg engagements pretty much everywhere and anywhere. So this could be a good map for Snute if he plays the long game, the safe game, the macro game.
Oh my god, he's not getting a factory? What?
It's MarineKing, baby. Double HJ pace.
Is there anything else you can get that can be greedier?
I don't know, an armory?
No,
you can't do that without a factory, so never mind.
Oh, it's silly Rifkin. What are you thinking? Oh my god, he's just actually not getting a factory. That's not an engineer before factory. I mean, technically it is, but he's just not going for Hellions.
Okay, so, but how do you get map control from this? What do you really...
You just don't,
What's the game plan? You can have +1/1 on your Marines really early, and maybe that's good. Oh man, Snoop's throwing down those roaches pretty quick. Did he see the 3cc? I didn't see it. Nice.
Oh, but it's... Well, he saw a gas timing, and I did wonder if he would be that sick to know that it was like, that's a 3rd CC gas timing.
Look at this, though. He's seen absolutely nothing else. Only the refinery.
So, here's the thing about what MarineKing is doing, okay? I want to talk about this before he potentially dies or something, you know? Just to be careful. But, okay, not going for Hellion sounds like the worst idea in the world. Why would you ever? They seem like such a crucial part of the game. But... if your opponent doesn't immediately catch on to that, and isn't just stuck there thinking, what the hell are you doing? If they react fast, if they don't react fast enough, then who cares? You know? Like, they're still going to play a little cautious because they don't really know what you're doing. So we have 2 roaches on the way. They're not going to get a quick 4th CC because they probably still don't know what you're doing. Like, it's like getting away with 3rd CC, but you're getting away with even more. No Hellions. It's dumb.
Comes in with the Overlord. It does get sacrificed sadly for death, but he gets everything he needs to see now. I think the weirdest thing for him is got to see the starport coming down so late. I mean, this is, you know, a late factory consequently means a really late starport. This is definitely odd.
Just gotta know that by now there's no Hellions on the way. So, the 3 roaches are a bit of a waste, but hey, it is what it is.
They're not bad though. I mean, they'll still serve their purpose. They can soak some hits. They can definitely take a one-of-mine shot better than Lings can. There's ways Snute could still use them.
I wonder why he did go for roaches. What he was expecting. I thought he was gonna go for an attack. I think you were too, but now they just seem purely for defense.
Well, the nice thing is if you do realize a Terran player is playing greedy, you can sometimes outgreed them, but I just wonder if it might be too late to slap down that 4th hatchery and get away with it so freely. Yeah. But here's the thing, right? It's Snute. If this guy can get to 70 drones, it doesn't matter who he's playing against, he's going to have a really good time.
I wonder what the attack is going to... I'm looking at the production tab right now, and it's going to be such a big force hitting before the usual 3cc medevac timing.
The thing, though, I'm wondering about, like, what is the advantage of these double engineers? Like, okay, he's gonna have 2-2 before Snute.
Oh.
But is that gonna matter? Because usually, I'd say the upgrades come more to effect for things like Mutalists, not so much the Banelings, right? You can have level 3 armor, level 1 armor, the Banelings are still gonna hit you hard.
I don't know, man. We don't usually see a situation where I could be like, oh, that definitely does X and Y.
Yeah, I've never, ever, in the hundreds of thousands of games we've cast, I've never seen someone go double engineering base so quickly.
2-2 before like 13 minutes? That's insane.
This is like, do you remember that really famous game with Artosis where like the guy proxied in an engineering bay? It was like back on Echelon Waste and he like, drops an SCV in his base. That's what I'm thinking of right now. But sneaking in 13 Banelings here to the side.
That's quite a lot of Banelings. But that's quite a big force, and MarineKing did not push out when I thought he would, so it is going to be a normal timed push. Snute's got to still be thinking, like, what is this game doing? You know, he's not getting a 4th base yet where he would have been able to get away with it.
This is some really nice SimCity out of Snute, actually. Or MarineKing, pardon me. Snute's not going to be so easily able to roll in here.
That's not enough to deal... Like, if there was only 2 medevac full Marines... You know, 16 Marines. Yeah, it does a lot of damage, but that's a bigger army, and there's Widowmines already.
If Snute's game plan is to actually just camp out and wait for MarineKing to move out, I think that's really cool.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. It looks to be the case. Again, Snute really hasn't taken advantage of the fact that MarineKing has been so passive. How could he really be sure? I mean, the Zerg player just gets really... They get dicked over in these situations when they're not 100% sure what's happening. And as we can see here, Snute doesn't have a 4th.
Does he have enough Banelings at home? I'm kind of worried. Without speed, can he really fight this even on creep?
That's barely enough for a regular attack, but as such a big attack, I'm not sure.
That's a lot of Banelings that are just going to walk by everything? Question mark?
They're not going to go for the 3rd...
Okay, he actually just busts through the main, but there's not a lot of SCVs to follow through with this. I'm not sure what Snute's plan of attack is. Meanwhile, back at home, he will defend the engagement to begin with, but there's a lot more behind that initial wave, and he's... down in upgrades. It's weird, but that upgrade advantage working kind of neatly for MarineKing.
Slammed. Like,
absolutely.
This is worse than Cure versus Sauna first game. Holy.
3rd base gutted. Queens aren't quite able to cut it. There's no Banelings coming back at home. I mean, if that Baneling must have gone through then 3rd, it kills a lot of SCVs, but he goes into the barracks, he goes into the wall. I don't really know what happened there for Snute, but it definitely fell apart for him in the worst kind of way.
He couldn't be sure